All right, we're live on YouTube. Welcome, Ava. How are you? From the
I'm doing
great
great.
state of Texas. It looks like it's nice and warm there.
It is so nice and warm. It is 80 something degrees out here.
Oh, that's the kind of spring I like.
I know. We have flower beds outside that are just calling my name. Ava,
Oh,
come plant me.
come I love it. I love it. Well, thanks for joining me on Essential Stories. I know you have a profound story to share. So, without further ado, we like to start the show in kind of a fun way. I think bios are boring. I'm sorry. I know you're a super talented person and you have so much to offer, and you will be able to connect with Ava in the description of this YouTube video. And I think that's going to be more meaningful because I want you to go to those links and check out this conversation even further and learn more about her and connect. But right now, I thought it would be fun for us to start off by playing a game. It's called This or That. Are you ready?
Yes.
This or that. Here we go. Question number one. Would you rather be trapped in the Arctic or on a tropical island?
Oh, girl, it is Hawaii all day long. It converted me. I am 100% part Hawaiian. Get me
I
on the
love it.
beach.
I love it. I love it. Would you rather be the hero of a video game or a novel?
A novel
A novel.
for sure. But the storyline, I want the all of it. I want all of it. Yes.
I love it. Stuffed crust pizza or normal crust pizza?
Very thin. Give
Very
me
thin.
unstuffed, little cheese, lots of sauce.
All right. Preferred way to connect through a phone call or a text?
Phone. I'm still a phone girl.
All
I'm a
right.
FaceTime girl too. I love seeing expression. I love feeling that energy, and I love knowing that they're not doing other things besides just looking at me, and I'm looking at them.
That's true. I know, right? Because it can get a little crazy.
It's mirror neurons, you see it, you feel it.
Right.
That's where like people are like, "Do you want to teach yoga online?" No, nothing is transmitted. It's watched later. I really want that connection.
I love that. I love that. Okay, so this one could be either or then. Would you prefer a snowball fight or a water balloon fight?
Water balloon all day
Water
long.
balloon. She's staying warm.
Oh yeah. The idea of snow skiing is just beyond me. So get cold, fall down hard, pay a bunch of money,
Yeah.
and where's the fun?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's the 5 seconds of absolute sheer terror when you're trying not to die. Give me a beach all day long in
I
a water
love
balloon
it.
fight.
All right. If you could lead the environmental charge, would you have everyone stop using paper or plastic?
Oh, stop using plastic for sure. We don't
Yeah.
have a paper continent floating in the middle of the ocean. We
I
have a
guess they
plastic continent.
I guess they don't want us to cut down trees. I was like, I'm not sure that's even a choice.
Yeah, I know. You can regrow trees.
All right. Do you prefer playing chess or Connect Four?
Connect Four. I am a champion. I can't believe you,
Okay.
you got I got that question. Hallelujah.
All right. That's
Yeah.
fun. That's fun.
I'm a strategist. That's my number one strengths finder is strategy.
Ah. All right. And the last one is, do you want to sit by a fireplace or on a comfy sofa?
I'd say comfy sofa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I'm a snuggler. Born on
Yeah,
Valentine's Day, I'm a snuggler.
it's so cool. I love that. All right. So, if you're going to snuggle in on your comfy sofa, what essential oil are you rubbing on your feet?
Oh, I guess I'm gonna start with balance. That's how I start all my yoga classes. That's how I
Okay.
ground. That's what I did before we got on here. I love balance. I love the roller. I love the whole bit.
All right. That's nice. Do you find that that is the one and only that you can use, or do you use that as like setting the stage for other oils that come on to the?
I feel like when I learned Aroma Touch like 10 years ago, it
Okay.
started off with balance, which is basically an alignment, getting everything ready. And so I always think of balance as how I'm going to start my yoga classes, how I'm going to start my day, how I'm going to start my phone calls. and then I layer whatever comes natural. I'll go for a forgive for
Okay.
sure, or a copaiba, or a serenity, or yeah, snuggler. Snuggler is definitely a serenity.
Serenity.
Yeah.
Yeah, balance and serenity is kind of nice together, right?
I know. I just enrolled a lady this morning. She
Oh,
came over to my house and she's like, I need something to smell really good in the spa. And I'm like, balance and serenity together, one drop of each. It smells so different together than it does apart.
yeah. So do you want to talk a little bit more about that? Because I know you've been, well, let's put a pin in that. I'm going to come back to this question. I want to go way, 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 way back. And it can be to your childhood. When was the first time you ever remember using, smelling, encountering an essential oil?
My mom was really big into natural remedies, and
Oh,
she was always at the health food store. My dad was always at the health food store. They were just health junkies.
wow, lucky
Oh
you.
yeah, we never went to the doctor. We always had natural remedies. I remember taking so many vitamins, I would just like fling them underneath the microwave, like, oh, I don't want to take that one. I don't want to take that one. When my mom moved that microwave one day and it was awful. But anyhow,
I love
so
that story.
she would make us take oregano underneath our tongue and
Oh,
hold it there as a kid,
eek.
like with a dropper in your mouth. And that's why I was like, even if I was sick, I would never ever tell her, because I knew what would happen is we'd get the oregano. And I
Right.
didn't know really what it was, but as soon as I smell oregano these days, when you're teaching a class and you're talking about the spiciness of oregano, and all I want to say is, don't don't harm your children with this. They will have an aversion.
So is that what the forgive is for? It's like that daily reminder I
It
have to
really is,
forgive my.
Carrie. I love how you loop it back around, because I'm such a forgive girl. I'm
I
such a
mean, why
true
is she grabbing
girl.
forgive? Yeah, the oregano thing is a big thing to get over.
Especially as a kid, just burn your throat. Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad.
Oh,
But guess what? When those zombie killers come and I feel like crap, you know what I do? Oregano under the tongue, and I thank my
oregano.
mom so much. She's
I was
been gone
gonna
for 13 years, and I feel her all throughout my doTERRA experience.
say
She
you.
would have loved to see this. You know,
Oh,
she would have just been all about it. She would have been on my front line. She'd been at every convention. She'd have all of her friends enrolled. I just know it.
oh. What do you think your mom's favorite oil was or would have been?
Uh, I would say a lavender, but maybe oregano. She thought oregano was the cure for like high blood pressure and
Okay.
Crohn's disease. She thought it was for everything. Everything. That was her Swiss Army knife. But I
That's so
think that she
funny
would have.
because my husband and I go to a chiropractor that we've gone to for like eons, way before essential oils that came into our lives. And he used to say, my claim to a good, healthy life is oregano every night before I go to bed. And I remember thinking, oregano, like you could pick
Wow.
something out. I know, but so
Wow.
funny. And I would say he's probably of your mom's generation.
Yep.
He's since passed the business on to his son, but it's so interesting. And look, like the entire island of Greece, right? The country of Greece relies on oregano. I mean, they drink oregano tea all the time. I learned about that. So I think your mom was on to something, maybe a better delivery system. So
Yeah.
let's not scare people with oregano because we know oregano is a really great essential oil. How would you actually advise people to use it now?
Okay, so at leadership, we just went to leadership in Nashville this past weekend, and it was exciting. It was fun. It was awesome. And they had a live feed of all the new products that you could suggest. And all I
Oh,
kept writing in was oregano soft gels, oregano soft gels, oregano soft gels. And I mean, I think that would be a game changer. Frankincense soft gels for sure,
yeah.
but oregano soft gels, just when people feel like crap and they just need to kill the zombies and they need to get all that crap out of their body, oregano. Yeah,
Now,
I just don't want to smell it.
do we have it in anything except for On Guard soft gels?
I don't imagine it's in the On Guard, right? Oregano's not in there.
Isn't it? Am I getting that wrong? Maybe I dreamed that. I thought it
I
was
think
in On Guard Plus. I have to look that up. I know thyme is in
black pepper
DDR.
and Melissa are the two
Oh,
added.
black pepper
Yeah.
and melissa. Okay,
Yeah.
maybe I want it to be in On
I
Guard.
know. I know.
Maybe that's why I think of that. Okay, so yeah, we definitely need an On Guard capsule. I hope your request is heard and manifested because that would
Absolutely.
probably save a
And
lot of
Whisper
kids.
deodorant. I love Whisper so much.
Oh, whisper
Whispers.
deodorant.
Mhm.
Wow, you should be in like product development because you're
Well, you
coming up with
stand in
some
line
creative.
so long, you start thinking of all the things that have come up over the last, because I've been with doTERRA for 10 years. It's been 10 years, Carrie.
I know, it's so exciting. That's
It
wonderful.
feels like I
We need to
some
have a big
when I see
party,
you, I feel like I am brand new. Just because
right?
I met you on like day 12 of my of my essential oil journey. But
But
to get back to the question that you asked
yeah.
me, one of my girlfriends saw me just sneezing my fool head off, and I was having such a bad reaction, and I couldn't drink red wine. It had too many sulfites in it, and I was just having allergic reaction after allergic reaction. And she gave me a bottle of Young Living lavender, and she said, "Put this on your feet at night, and use it for a week, and I'll check back with you." And I was like, "Okay, crazy lady, I will put it on my feet." And then I started sneezing less. I had less reactions. I could drink a glass of wine. And all of that went away. And I was thinking, this is awesome. I put it on my feet before I went to bed. I've never slept so good in my whole life.
Yeah.
As a new mom, that is so powerful when you can get that deep REM sleep.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved it. I loved it. And then maybe like a month later, I was at a conference and I met Nick,
Oh.
and I was the big winner. I won a bottle of lavender.
Oh, that's great.
I know, and that completely just turned me around. I didn't even ever really get very far with the other company because I was so into the doTERRA smell. I couldn't wait. I started with Intune and Serenity and Balance and all of these crazy smells. I wanted it all.
Okay, so I didn't realize that. So you had had a good experience with the other company's lavender, but then
Mhm.
you were invited to a doTERRA event, or how did you like discover doTERRA? How did you get to that event?
So I was repping a product, and I was at a franchise expo, and I walked
Oh,
all the way to the very back,
okay.
and there was this cute bald funny guy, and I just fell in love with him. I stood there for an hour. Jack and Zoe were in the parking lot. This was after church.
Okay.
And it was a Sunday afternoon, and I stood for an hour and talked to Nick. And I said, "Okay, so what's the difference? And you worked at the headquarters, and oh, this is so fun. And you worked at this headquarters, and oh, what's it?" Like, I had to know. I was on a quest. And I,
Okay.
I just finished yoga teacher training, and one of the girls had brought in a big diamond kit, from Young Living. She unzipped the whole thing. And we were in this like shoe closet of a room. She
Okay.
unzipped the whole thing, and the smells that emanated from that diamond kit were it took me to another dimension, another place, and I knew that this was going to be in my life. I didn't know how. I didn't know that it was going to pay for my daughter's school, and pay
Yeah.
for all of our trips and be such an adventure. But I knew, and God leaves those little reminders in our life all the time. It's really cool when you look back and you're like, oh, I knew I was supposed to put that oregano under my tongue. Oh, I knew I was supposed to put that lavender on the bottom of my feet.
I love that. And I love how you guys were, in really separate worlds, not seeking, not looking for anything. You were happy with your other lavender. And then there shows up Nick and
I had
boom, the doors
never
of
heard of doTERRA. I learned of doTERRA and Nick at the exact same
at the same
time.
time.
And it still took them 2 months to enroll me.
Really?
Yeah.
So what was your hesitation? Just happy where you were, or what
I
happened
just
there?
didn't have any urgency in it. I
Oh,
knew that I wanted him, but it didn't have to be on my time. I mean, it was all just divine. And Nick finally, I mean, God bless him, he put the pedal to the metal, and he's like, okay, it's the last day of the month. We're going to do this. Oh, well, okay. Well, if I do this, I'm going to go to the convention. And he goes, really? The convention's in 2 weeks. And I was like, well, give me a ticket and I'll get a flight and I'll get a hotel. And I fell
wow.
in love. I fell in love with it. He took me to all of the events, and I saw the Diamond Club graduates, and I'm like, oh, I want to do that. That looks like fun. You guys get paid to travel. I love to travel.
Oh my gosh. So it sounded like like when you were in 100%. And it sounds like education is really important to you. So how was your experience at the first doTERRA convention? Because I assume, did you go for the camaraderie of of the community, or did you go to get educated, or did you go to just like kick the tires on this company you just joined 2 weeks, prior? Like,
It was all
what motivated
education.
you?
It was, you're so right, Carrie. It was all education based.
Education.
I wanted to know it all, and I knew it was going to take time. And I come from another network marketing company, a skincare company. And I
Okay.
knew that, I mean, I was so in on that skincare company. I was learning to do it. I was learning through Jeff Olson and through Eric Worre. I was learning this business. And
Okay.
so, and my husband was learning alongside me. So Jack and I we're basically like, we were hooked into network marketing. We just didn't know the right product that was going to take us there. And I
Okay.
just felt so grounded in doTERRA, and Nick's like, oh, this is Dave Sterling, and oh, this is, Justin Harrison. And I didn't know who they were. He's like, oh yeah, they run the company. And then all of a sudden they're up there in front of the stage, with these thousands of people in front of them. And I had just met them, and I was like, that's pretty cool, Nick. You
You
really
know
know
all these
this.
people.
Yeah, you know these people. Oh, Emily was your old boss. Oh, okay, great.
Pretty nice.
And so
Yeah.
all I did for 2 years that Nick was in Texas is I just put people in front of him.
Okay.
And we were silver the first month, and we were it just went up and up and up and up and up. And I know that it's me, because people love to have the fun, but then
Yeah.
it's Nick, because he's just such a great like hook, and he's just the yummy stuff.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So it's
You have
hard
a
to
similar
keep
story
that.
too.
What's that?
You have a similar story too.
Oh yeah, totally.
Wouldn't have
Totally.
come to doTERRA without Nick.
Never. Oh no, Nick is the glue that brought us all together. Thank you, Nick. And he's got a really cool essential story. Everybody should watch that one too. He was
I love
great.
that one.
Um, but I'm thinking, okay, so all this education, it must have been good because you kept up with it. I think sometimes when you find something that's so um, exciting for you, that passion is easy, but it's hard to keep that momentum going, right? Like it's hard to constantly, try to help people and be out there. Was there like one or two examples of people that you were able to help that like you hold on to every day that keeps you motivated to help other people, even though, there's a hard side, to anything in life, right? Like there's a honeymoon period, and then of course you settle in and you go, oh, okay, there's challenges here, and I have other things pulling at me. And obviously you have a yoga business, and you have children and a husband and
Mhm,
a house and a
mhm.
life and all those things, right? Which a lot of our listeners are probably thinking, how do you fit this in? But we can talk a little bit about the technical stuff, but I want to know, like, do you hold on to a story in your heart? Because that's what we're about on this show, is like those essential stories. Like, so was there an essential story, someone you shared with that you were like, wow, if I hadn't made an effort, talked to that person, their life would be totally different now.
There's so many little stories, but one of the biggest ones was speaking with the Moms of Multiples group.
Okay.
And that they're overwhelmed,
Yeah.
you know. And it was just a happenstance meeting, met one of the moms, Sandra, and she introduced me to all these women that were overwhelmed. They have multiple children at the same time.
Right.
And one of the mom's stories, she had been using PB Assist, just the little sticks or whatever. And she said,
Yeah.
Ava, I have to tell you this story. I have to tell you about his teacher. His teacher said that he sits still in class, he focuses, he's like a totally different kid, and I've only been giving it to him for like 5 weeks. Can you believe it? It's got to be the probiotic. It's got to be PB Assist that's getting him through it. She's like, I wonder if I can take him off his ADD meds and whatever. And she did. It
Wow.
it was I just remember those little moments. There's tons of little stories along the way, but when you help a kid to get through class and his mom doesn't, continually worry, that's just
Yeah.
it's so simple. It's so simple.
Yeah, I think the kid stories are the ones that get you.
Hmm.
Like you can help all the adults you want, and they can do what they want to do sometimes, but like kids don't lie. You know what I mean? If they
You're
don't feel
right.
good, they tell you. And if they start to feel better, they tell you. And if they like the essential oils, they tell you. And
Hmm.
I completely understand what you're saying. Like I just feel like those are the stories that have the greatest impact.
I agree.
And moms are always looking, but I don't think they're always asking. I think moms, especially young moms, are like, oh no, I've got it all together, right? Like,
Right.
I can do it. I can do it. When we know, I mean, I know, I should speak for myself. I didn't have it all together. I
No.
wish I had had more answers, more help, more this, that, or the other thing. I wish I had had essential oils when I was pregnant, let alone
Oh,
when
I
my,
wish I had had essential oils when I was pregnant.
you
I
know,
missed it by about 4 years.
super itty bitty, right? So it's like, I
Hmm.
think sometimes we just have to say, you know what? Any young mom out there can use a little help. They can all use a little tool, whether it's for themselves or for their kids. And listen for the little cues that you can hear to go through. I love that. I love the string of small stories that
Hmm.
kind of keep us going and keep us motivated. So you mentioned Diamond Club. I would be remiss if I didn't ask you this question, because how many times did you do it?
Three. I did. I graduated 3 times.
I love that. So for
And
someone who
that got me to Diamond. That got
yeah.
me to Diamond for sure. But I joined Diamond Club after being with doTERRA for 90 days.
Wow.
Yeah, Nick was like, he sat me down. I'll never forget this conversation we had out in Wiley in downtown. And he goes, look, this is going to be a little off, but I think that you're ready. I really think that I can get you in, and I think that you can do it. And I had already enrolled like 250 people. And he said, you can do this. You can do this. You can definitely do this. And I'm like, well, I don't know anybody outside my area. And he's like, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Yeah, yeah. We're gonna find other people that know other people. And I'm like, okay. So I barely graduated my first one. I think I had 16 enrollments so many different times, and you needed 18 for the month. And I
Okay.
think Lorinda gave me one of hers. And I mean, it was just like, it was such
Yeah,
a,
that was back in the day when we could like help
yes,
each other with the
but I
enrollments.
felt the love. I knew that you guys knew I was such a rookie, and I was just beginning, and I was stumbling my toes. And then the second time was much easier. And I always did
Okay.
spring. And then the third time rocked it out, graduated the top 8. It was great.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
And
I
for
went on the
people who
trip.
don't have any clue as to what we're talking about, doTERRA has these really cool programs that if you want to learn how to be, really proficient at sharing oils with other people, they have these clubs, and one's called Diamond Club. And reaching a leadership position gives you a lot of financial freedom. So I think most of us don't, quote unquote, do it for the money because we're in the healing arts.
You do
But
it for the time freedom, Carrie.
you
The
do it for the time
time.
freedom. Yeah.
Don't tell me what to do. I want to make my own schedule. I want to work whenever I want to work, and I want to travel. That has been such a blessing.
Yeah,
Such a
that's the
blessing.
payoff, right?
It really is.
Yeah.
And I love that once you educate someone, it's lifetime income.
Right.
Most teachers, they educate, they get paid for the next day. The next day they're doing a new lesson plan. This is the same lesson plan,
Right.
and then you get paid forever until
Love
the end
that.
of time on everything that they buy.
Yeah, I
It's the
know. And
best.
it's funny because I remember when someone told me that about the doTERRA system, like, once you build it, it will consistently pay you. And I was like, what does that mean? What does that look like? Is that really true? But 10 years now, and it's proving itself to be very true, right?
Very true.
Yeah. So, okay, so you love to travel. What was your favorite doTERRA trip?
I taught in a rainforest in Maui, and that was even before Nick. That was
Did
even
you?
before Nick. That was a Diamond Club thing. One of my
Wow.
yoga teacher cohorts had moved to Maui to go to massage school, and she said, "Hey, will you come over here? I have a few people that want a class." And I was like, "Go all the way to Maui to teach in a rainforest with you and get a massage. I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in." And so I think my flight was $340 round trip.
Wow, that was good.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was teaching in California, so I hopped a flight to Maui, and then I came back. That was my favorite class of all time. But I've also taught at the White House.
You did?
Yeah, on Diamond Club as well. Some of my girlfriends were in Virginia, and
Okay.
they had connections to staffers, and they were like, "We need you to go teach at the White House, and you're going to have to get security clearance, but they can do a lunch and learn." And that's
How come
Diamond
I
Club.
never heard the story before? That is
I
so,
know. Diamond
so
Club is
cool.
awesome. Yeah,
Wow. So doTERRA took you places that you never imagined going.
I know. I know. It's
I
so
mean, I
great.
wouldn't have. Like, was that even on your bucket list? Teach a yoga class in the White House? Teach an oil class in the
An
White
oil
House?
class, no, that was not even on my radar. That was so far away from it. But I just, it's one of my friends, her sister lived in Virginia, and then the next thing I knew, I was flying back and forth to Chantilly, Virginia, you know. And I
Oh,
think I did five or six classes there over two different diamond clubs.
that's so amazing. Now I know we're always looking for new business partners to collaborate with. If do you have a dream partner in mind, someone that you want to welcome into your community?
A dream partner?
Yeah, like do you have this vision of like the next great team member that you want to partner with? Is it someone like young, old, in a particular industry with in a particular state, country? Like, do you have that like
I
dream
would
partner?
really like to retire some teachers, Carrie. That
Okay.
really would feel good in my body. I found out my next door
Yeah.
neighbor, I found out they don't have they give them health care in Texas, right?
Okay.
But they don't give them any counseling.
Oh,
Okay. So
okay.
no counseling, no therapy is included. So if they just want to go talk their feelings out, right? As a
Right.
teacher, right?
Which you would think they need to do. Yeah.
Yeah, that would needs to be the base of where we
Right.
start, you know,
Okay.
offer them unlimited therapy, right? And
Yeah.
then we also gave our teachers a 5% pay raise
Okay.
last year. That was it. That was the maximum that you could get as a teacher was 5%. And I don't know about you, but everything in my life has gone up,
Yeah.
you know? Every single expense has gone up and it hasn't gone up 5%, you
No,
know? So
and
it
I
just
can,
doesn't keep track
yeah.
of that.
Right.
Yeah. So I have this dream of having teachers teach the oils and having a whole team of teachers and being able to retire themselves and go travel when they want and be there with their kids and do it on their terms and teach the same thing again and
Right.
again.
One lesson plan.
One lesson plan.
I love that. One lesson plan. Well, if you're a teacher and you're watching this, you want to contact Ava
I
because
know.
she has some answers for you. She's going to get you to retire in style with really, really good therapy.
I know. Really good therapy.
I love that. I love that. That's beautiful. I love that. That is a dream team, right? Not just a dream partner. That's
And
a dream
Carrie,
team.
we live 3 doors down from our middle school. And
Yeah.
my daughter's now in high school across
Right.
town, but we live 3 doors from our public school. And then my next door neighbor is a teacher, and the lady across the street is a teacher. I've got surrounded by teachers, and I keep saying, "Do you know of anybody who would be really open to teaching for me?" You know, like thinking it's
Yeah.
a job. You know, like I'm just going to
Right.
hire you to teach, which
Yeah.
is basically is. You know, you can hire yourself anytime.
That's right. I mean, it's so true. You already have the skill set. Like it's a,
Mhm.
yeah, I love that. I think they're coming. I think you should buckle up because I think you're going to build a community of teachers that are going to be living a life they can't even imagine.
Speak
Well,
it, Carrie. I feel it.
that's a beautiful motivation. So you've
Mhm.
kind of answered that question for me, and we're always running out of time. I hate this. Um, 5 products that you're using right now that you're super passionate about.
So I do a lot of exercise classes at Lifetime, and
Okay.
I'm constantly spraying down the equipment with my On Guard sanitizer.
Okay.
Whether it be the bike or the mat, or I bring my own mat, but I'm just saying, like, I'm constantly using that stuff on my hands. And I'm like,
Okay.
hey, do you want some? Do you want some? Do you want some? Oh, you like the way it smells? Can I teach you about it? Oh, you like some? You know, so I use On Guard sanitizer like crazy. Not the
Okay.
gel, but the spray. The
The
spray is
spray.
just
Yep.
aromatic.
Love
And
that
it
spray.
and people look around like, what is that? You know, did someone light a candle? Like, what happened? The beadlets are great to share. I love the Meta Power beadlets. Just a little poof, fresh breath and balance your hormones. And,
Yeah.
you know, you sing the praises of Meta Power. The beadlets are just
Love
such an
them.
instant
Love
way.
the
And
whole line. Big
I
Meta
love that,
Power
I
fan.
love that no other company has beadlets. You know, I
Yeah.
just feel so special. Like it's such a novelty. And I think it's just so fun to share novelties. Deep Blue Rub, I always have a little packet with me to share. It's got my info on it. I use it all the time on my neck. Um, and I just love it. And then the wild orange, you know, the wild orange, the little ones that come in the class in a box.
Yeah.
I keep those in my yoga bag as well. And if people
Okay.
are like, oh, I really, really love the oils, I'm like, oh, would you like to have an experience of your very own? And I take out the wild orange, put it on their hands. And I was like, you know, if you do an order today, I can give you this bottle,
Oh, that's great.
like on the spot. And they're like,
That-
they would do
That's
anything for that
amazing.
deep blue or that wild orange or that hand sanitizer. They want it.
Yeah, because why have that good experience? And it's like, okay, see you. Your order will be arriving, I don't know, in a couple of weeks.
Mhm. You can leave it at right now.
That's so sad.
I know.
Okay, so I think we're up to three or four. Do you have another one?
Like I said, I always start my yoga classes
Okay,
out with
balance.
balance. Yeah, so the balance is
Balance.
always with me in my purse. I use it in, you know, where if I'm in traffic, with if I'm on a road trip, if I'm at the grocery store, I'm constantly using balance and I share it.
I love that.
And
I love
then
it. And you said
beadlets.
you
So.
also have the balance roll on. We've gotten a few of those like for limited offers, right? Or BOGOs or
Mhm,
something. I
mhm.
always tell people if doTERRA gives you a roll on that is not usually offered, buy it because you're going to be glad that you had whatever that oil was in a roll on,
There's at
right?
least 20 of those in my drawer. I
Yeah.
am that
Wow.
I love it so much. I
And do you
mean,
use like the deodorant and the soap too? Do you use
oh
the
yeah,
whole line of balance?
the
Yeah.
whole line. I would love for him to come out with a stick, just like the breathe stick or the.
Oh, a balance stick. I like that. Did you put that in the suggestion?
I think I did. Yeah.
Okay, okay, cool. So fingers crossed, maybe we'll get it.
Yeah.
Listen to Ava doTERRA. She's got great product ideas. Okay, that's good.
And
Oh,
dry shampoo. We need dry shampoo.
oh yeah, that's super popular. Yeah,
It
yeah, yeah.
is
My daughter's a
really,
big
really
fan.
on the go easy.
Yeah, my daughter's a big fan. And I guess if you work out a lot, which I don't, but I should.
You're going
Like,
to
yeah,
class
yeah.
and you don't
You
want to
get
look
that
like a
kind of,
drowned rat.
yeah, too sweaty in the heady. All
Mhm.
right, here we go. So, a big, big, huge thank you for your
Thank
time
you, Carrie.
and your story, which
I
is
love and
essential.
respect you so much, and I'm so grateful that you asked me to come on here.
Yeah, and I hope we can do this again. I don't know where this podcast is going necessarily, but I think it's going to expand in some cool directions. I'd love for you to make some suggestions of people that you know who might want to come on the show. I think it would be fun to, you know, include your whole team. But I'm very grateful to you. Again, you can contact Ava by looking in the description below. And as we end every show, a la the Actors Studio, I like to ask 10 questions. So, may I?
Please.
Okay, here we go. One word or phrase only. And at the very, very end, we're just going to leave the audience with one word.
Okay.
So, here we go. Favorite smell, not necessarily an essential oil.
It's barbecue.
Oh, love it. Texas food.
I don't eat animals, but I love to go get barbecue with my girlfriends, and I will eat the sides with the barbecue sauce and not the meat or anything, but I just love the smell. I go in and when Nick is in
Smell
town, we
barbecue.
go, yeah,
She's
okay.
a true Texan. I love it.
I'll
Uh,
stick with one word.
Smell you hate.
Oh, that silly cat that's scratching at the door right now. That litter box, it's a COVID cat. I love
Okay.
her, but
No
yeah,
good.
litter box,
Love her,
nasty.
not the litter box.
Uh,
What brings you the greatest sense of peace?
I I love teaching yoga, but it's at the very end when I have talked for an hour and we're sitting in silence in shavasana, encouraging prayer and meditation, and then we all come back for kumbaya. You know, we all come back for that moment of peace. That gives me so much. It just feels enlightening. I love that. I love that feeling.
Beautiful. What irritates you the most?
My family on their phones. I don't know if people can
Enough
relate to
said.
that one.
I know, enough said. uh, what's your favorite character trait in a human being?
Funny.
Love it. What's your favorite guilty pleasure?
Oh, I'm born on Valentine's Day and love, I love to watch reality love shows. I
So
have to limit it because it's just too consuming or whatever. And I don't like Real Housewives or anything, but when they fall in love and they're in these magical places, I just love it.
oh, I love that. What would you like to eat before you die? Last food.
Definitely my mom's famous lemon cake. She was a cake decorator and she made the most incredible lemon cake.
Wow. See, mom came full circle from bad guy to good guy all in one show. From oregano to lemon cake. That's a pretty good scope. I love it.
She was
Sounds like your
amazing.
mom was a really special woman.
She is.
Ah. If you had a magic wand and you could eradicate any disease or illness, which would you start with?
I'd have to go with like an autoimmune disease because they're just so hard to pin down. I feel so bad for people. They're just fighting through it and there's no real answer.
Yeah. I'm going to give you $500. You can use it only in one place.
I'm
Where would
going on a plane ticket, girl.
he's going? I should have
Give
known.
me a plane ticket.
You think
I
five
have
hundred
yet
dollars
to
is
see
a valid
Australia.
bar a trip?
I want
Yeah,
to go
there we
live
go.
in Canada. Like, take me to Mexico. I want to go live in Italy. Give me a plane ticket. I am really easy. I can find a cheap flight anywhere.
Anywhere. I
People
love
think you
it.
need a first class flight or you need bags. You don't need any of that. You just need a backpack. Give me a $300 flight. I will be there.
Oh, that's beautiful. All right. What one word would you like to leave our audience with today as a gift?
It's going to have to be breathe.